The Galactic Council had designed the pit as the ultimate test of survival. Carved into the barren moon of Kroth, 7, it stretched 3 kilometers deep into compressed mineral stone, a labyrinth of darkness where the galaxy's most dangerous predators roamed freely. Every species that had entered emerged broken, if they emerged at all. The record stood at 6 hours for a Kralthian war beast, the apex predator of the Andromeda sector. Commander Xuaxtao of the Council Guard stood at the pit's edge, his 4 eyes fixed on the human scientist who had volunteered for what everyone assumed would be a quick death. Dr. Emma Harrison, Xuaxtao's translator, crackled. You understand that no rescue will be permitted? The pit's rules are absolute. Emma adjusted her pack and smiled, that peculiar expression that made so many aliens uncomfortable. I understand perfectly, Commander. 6 days. I'll see you then. 6 days. Xuaxtao's mandibles clicked in disbelief. No species has. I know the records, Emma interrupted, checking her equipment one final time. That's why I'm here. Before Xuaxtao could respond, she stepped off the edge and disappeared into the darkness. The first hour, Emma descended steadily, her headlamp cutting through the oppressive black. The walls of the pit were smooth in places, jagged in others, and she'd studied the topology for months. Every species that had entered before treated it as a hunt, predator versus prey in unknown territory. Emma treated it as a camping trip. At the 2-hour mark, she encountered her first pit dweller, a shriek maw, all teeth and tentacles, designed by evolution to strip flesh from bone in seconds. It lunged from a crevice, and Emma sidestepped with practiced ease, driving her climbing pick through its neural cluster. The creature spasmed and went still. One down, she muttered, dragging the carcass to a flat section of stoned up by hour 4. She'd established her first camp. Using her portable burner, Emma began processing the shriekmaw's meat. The alien proteins required careful preparation, toxins in the blue meat, nutrients in the gray, but her xenobiology training made it routine work. She ate well that night, the meat surprisingly tender when cooked properly. Above, the council monitors registered shock. Their sensors showed the human's vital signs, steady heartbeat, normal temperature, and impossibly, evidence of digestion. She's eating the pit fauna? Council member Thrace, a gas-based being, fluctuated with confusion. The shriekmaw is classified as ultra-lethal. Humans, Xuaxtao said slowly, are persistence hunters. And apparently, persistence everything. On day 2, Emma ventured deeper. The pit's ecosystem revealed itself to her trained eye, a complete food chain adapted to permanent darkness. Luminescent fungi provided ambient light in the lower sections, and she collected samples, cross-referencing them with her database. 3 species were edible. 2 were delicious. She encountered a pack of razorbacks, quadrupedal hunters with crystalline spines that could punch through starship hull plating. Most species would have fled or fought desperately. Emma set traps using her climbing rope and the natural choke points in the pit's geography. The aliens' own hunting instincts worked against them, funneling them into her snares at by evening. She had enough meat to smoke and preserve for the remaining days. Her camp expanded, a small fire pit, drying racks made from razorback bones, and a water reclamation system drawing moisture from the fungi. Is she thriving down there? Thrace asked on day 3, reviewing the data feeds. The monitors showed Emma's camp had grown sophisticated. She'd fashioned better tools from creature parts, mapped a significant portion of the pit's upper levels, and even appeared to be taking recreational breaks to sketch the local fauna. Jack Morrison, Emma's colleague and the mission coordinator on the surface, couldn't suppress his grin. That's Emma. She once spent 3 months on a toxic swamp moon and came back complaining the cuisine was limited. This is unprecedented, Xuaxtao admitted. The pit is supposed to be a crucible of survival. It is, Jack replied. You're just seeing what human survival actually looks like. Day 4 brought Emma's greatest challenge, the Void WIRM, a serpentine apex predator that had killed the last 4 species to reach the pit's 3rd level. It was massive, 30 meters of armored muscle and bioelectric fury. Emma studied it from hiding for 3 hours, noting its hunting patterns, its blind spots, its territory markers. Then she did something no other species had attempted. She fed it. Using scraps from her previous kills, she established herself not as prey or competitor, but as a neutral presence, perhaps even a source of food. The Void WYRM, intelligent enough to recognize patterns, began to tolerate her proximity by day 5. They'd reached an understanding. The WYRM protected its territory, which now included Emma's camp, and she occasionally left it choice portions of her kills. It was, as she noted in her log, basically a very large, very dangerous cat. The Galactic Council watched in stunned silence as the human not only survived but established a functioning base camp in humanity's first encounter with the pit. Other species had brought weapons, armor, combat training. Emma had brought a camping stove, xenobiology expertise, and an apparently unshakable belief that anywhere could be home if you approached it correctly. On day 6, Emma began her ascent. She emerged exactly on schedule, her pack heavier than when she descended, filled with samples, research notes, and several kilograms of smoked pit meat. Axtal stood at the edge, all 4 eyes wide. "Dr. Harrison, you're well fed," Emma finished, offering him a piece of jerky. "The shriekmaw is excellent if you remove the toxin glands first. Would you like the recipe?" The commander stared at the dried meat, then at the human who had turned the galaxy's deadliest proving ground into a successful camping expedition. "Your species," he said carefully, "is terrifying." Emma laughed. "We're explorers, Commander. We don't conquer new environments. We move in, set up shop, and figure out what's for dinner. That's what makes us human." Jack approached, pulling Emma into a hug. "How was it? Honestly, I'm thinking of going back next month. I barely explored the lower levels, and I have a theory about the fungi." "Absolutely not," Zyxtal interjected, his translator nearly glitching with alarm. But Emma was already making plans, her eyes bright with that peculiar human enthusiasm that the galaxy was only beginning to understand. And fear, the pit remained unconquered by any species. But humanity had never been interested in conquest. They preferred colonization. And as the Council would learn, there was nowhere in the galaxy that humans couldn't eventually call home.